Good morning, everybody. This is TJ with the PTU Trend Jumper. Today I'm going to trade heating oil futures in my account. You've recently seen me trade crude oil and soybean futures, Renko bars. Today we're going to focus on heating oil. I've got a template set up here on my Thinkorswim price ladder so that when I place the trade, the targets and stops will all be in the right place or close to it. One thing I like to do with heating oil is stretch my matrix across a vertical monitor so that I have more space on my price ladder. So I'm going to go ahead and stretch it up a little bit here onto my second monitor that's sitting above this one. And our first setup comes at 9 a.m. and it's almost 9 a.m. now, so I have to start looking for our first trade. And the heating oil moves quickly. You have to pay attention. You don't want to try to do too much when you're trading heating oil. One of the good things about using a momentum bar is that you can anticipate where the bar is going to close, and if you understand the strategy, you could also anticipate where the entries are going to be. So you can get your order in ahead of time. It does require patience, like everything else that has to do with trading. Heating oil was already in a trade from a little bit before our start time. You could see would have been a nice winner. In fact, there's been a couple winners this morning right away. But we start at the same time every day. That way we can have consistent results and a consistent approach and something we can depend on. We run our trading like we would any other business. Alright, so we got a short setup here and I got my order placed. I got filled at 44. My stop is up here at 67. My target is down here at 06. See it down here at 06, and then I'm in position to trail. Although it looks like we may stop out here. Hopefully it'll survive and head lower. And the first trade was a losing trade. Could be getting a long setup here. It would be at 7.6, so I'm going to put that order in. And it may cancel. You notice that an inside trade set up right here. Another setup. And we're just going to stay with the first trade. Okay, did trigger in. Now I'm hoping that the price is going to pull back up at least to this yellow line, and if it does, I'll look to lock in a little bit of profit. The trend is definitely down, as whether we're going to get another leg down or not. You got crude oil sitting right above $97 a barrel, and it's kind of finding support right now, or possible support as well. See if the buyers can come in, and with this move down like this, a retracement 1 to 2/3 up seems to be, you know, a good chance. Good chance that could happen. See what happens when it hits. You got key levels up here at 2.9 thousand, right? With the big EMA right above our heads here, so I could expect that that's going to stall the price. It may even stop it in its tracks. And while I don't want to be too aggressive with my stop, I do want to consider the fact that I've got some profit in this trade, and once I get to what could be some big resistance, I should at least consider taking a little profit or moving my stop up to protect myself. I just want to see it get a little bit higher. My money management level is at 04. There, it just hit the 2,000 level, or the 9,000 level. And there it is. That's money management already anyway, so I've got to move my stop up. And I do have to take one of these targets off. So getting really close here. Can I bust through the pink line? The inside trade would have been the winner. You could see that was actually a better trade. Better price, quicker target. It would be a shame not to get profit out of this trade, but I've got to give it time, assuming that it's going to stall right here. I want to give it a little room. My stop has moved up to 7.7. Better put that at 7.7 there. Yeah, I missed my full target by only 3 ticks. You could see it hitting up against that pink line and then turning around. So now I'm just hoping I can hang in there for another attempt. Might be asking too much. You never know. You can see how the price is snaking around the EMAs, and you couldn't get any follow through to the upside. Can we get follow through to the downside? Is this going to be more of a range bound situation? This is a real testing point here. This could be like a bearish flag of some sort, consolidation that could push this lower. Pretty accurate targets on both these trades. The trade we're in just missed by 3 ticks. The inside trade, target was 06, went as high as 11, so that one overshot by a few ticks as well, you could see. And sometimes it's just too accurate. It's got to be patient. Maybe we'll get another drive up. See if we can test that pink line again. That's a good sign when you get another jump trade along the way. Now if this is a Forex chart, we could be adding to our position here. I mean, the add-on trades are pretty powerful, so this is definitely helpful. 1 tick shy of full target now. Just trying to be really patient. It's tempting to take a little profit on this trade. Got to trade for profit. I'm going to push this up on one of the positions here. Missing by 1 tick. I just don't want this to go too far away, and that one did stop out. So I got a little profit on this, and I'll let my trailer kind of guide my hand here. I'll lock in 1 tick to cover the cost, and if we can push higher, I'll make up the difference with the trailer. You know, when you miss your full target by 1 tick, I gave it a little time. Got a key level it's playing with here. I don't want this to come all the way back down. That would not be good. At least this way I got something out of it. And hopefully we push higher and I make the rest up on the trailer. Something we teach at Netpicks, how to trade for profit. I'm not going to fight over 1 tick, although if I would have waited, I probably will end up better off, but I just couldn't risk giving back the entire trade. I've worked hard at getting this profit as it is. So now I got a trailer, got a 1 tick lock in, and hopefully we push higher and I can get more out of this. Just missed 1 tick. Kind of in no man's land here between these 2 lines. It can go either way. See the jump line starting to angle up, so hopefully it's going to find support here and push higher. I can start moving my stop up a little bit. I had a chance to get positive for the session, and alright, it just stopped out. So I was able to recapture part of the first loss. Got the really nice risk-reward ratio, so it doesn't take much. But I still need another trade to get positive here. So we'll keep trading. Power of quitting requires a winner and a positive result. I don't really like trading up into this double ceiling here. It's like I got this double resistance zone above my head right at the key level. I really would rather see it break lower. We'll see what comes next. Bad luck in that there was a really nice move right before the session started. So usually you could expect some consolidation, and that's kind of what we've had to deal with here. But still, 1 winner, or 1 loss, 1 partial winner. Could have had a full winner with the inside trade. And there are circumstances when I would take that inside trade. This will cause an entry right at the key level at this point. Low is 77. This will put us up around 99. Not really interested in getting long at 99 right here in this zone. I may just wait. I might just wait to see if we can get a short setup. We'll see how this bar forms here. There it is. That's a tough one. And it did trigger in too. Got the US stock market getting ready to open in a few minutes here, so normally I would not stand down, but I think I'm going to wait, let the market open, and try to come up with a trade that isn't trading into this double resistance zone here. See, on the other trade I had enough space, you know, to work up to the resistance level and then take the risk off the trade, but right now trading into this double barrier, it just seems like the risk is just greater. I don't need to take that trade. I can wait for a better setup. Yeah, heating oil extremely slow. Soybeans opened up and hit a winner right away, the first trade of the day. A nice winner. I'll show you that really quick. Here's soybeans. Normally I'm going to be trading soybeans, but today I decided I'll just trade heating oil for the sake of this video. Soybeans, a quick winner. Now it's just a matter of how much. Really great trade. Just a fabulous market. You've seen me do a few videos on soybeans. Definitely a more attractive way to start the session than the heating oil trade. And this long trade can go either way. I'm not in it. I mean, to me, a trade like this is too much of a coin flip. I've seen too many of these fail. You could definitely see it's having a hard time getting through. It may get through, but again, what I'm really looking at is this, and a setup that breaks down and goes lower is really what I'm hoping to see here. But you know, market doesn't care what I hope for. I try not to be too discretionary. I mean, I really minimize my what you would call the 10% art side to trading. I definitely used a little dash of that on this trade decision, staying out of this long trade here. If it does go up and win and hit the full target, I would have to consider that power of quitting and the strategy hitting its goals. I'd have to quit for the day and penalize myself for interjecting. That's what my trade plan tells me to do. I mean, I do give myself the liberty of making decisions based on my experience with the trend jumper, and because I've seen these setups a number of times, I know that the odds are lower. I just decided to stay clear of it. That's certainly my prerogative. And if it were to go through and win, I would have to then consider the strategy and the trade plan actually was a winner hitting its goals, and I would have to quit for the day, and that would be my penalty. So maybe I'll avoid a losing trade here. If it comes down and hits the stop, then I'm going to mark that down in my journal, because the 5% art to trading does have a place inside of my trade plan. Again, 5%. I don't want to be too much of an artist and make it more than that. And I do have very specific things that I will apply my discretion. This is one of them, trading up into the double resistance zone. And see, it did stop out, and I did save myself a losing trade. And now I have to see if the jump line, the confirmation line here, will go below the jump line, and if I'm going to get a real trade set up, I've got to be ready. This could go in at 69. Nope, I have to wait for one more bar. And patience pays, because it could keep me out of the noise. Would have triggered in, and now it would be under pressure, and it would have stopped out. So, you know, just following the strategy, it looked like it would have been a good setup bar. It was not. Let the strategy do its thing. There's a reason the indicators are there. Just got to be vigilant, because it can move really fast. I don't want to miss an entry. So far, it doesn't look like we'll get a setup, but we'll see what happens if this bar pushes lower. So meanwhile, on the Dowie Mini, we could look at that one. That one also one and done today. I was just looking at it on my other monitor, and that one also a really nice winner. You've got all these cluster of trades here at our start time, but you're going to go with the closest to the market. It's an inside trade right there. We started at 832, and at 832 it's on this red bar. The trade doesn't cancel. It comes in and hits the entry, and it comes up and hits the target. And now it's trailing, and it, you know, the trail is right up in here. So this trade, the first trade of the day, looking like it's almost ready to finish. But one and done on the YM, and that's the kind of session we really love to see. The YM continues to be an excellent performer, and maybe I'll do another video on the YM before too long. So I got to be careful with heating oil, because if it moves lower and my lines separate a little bit, I could get a short setup. You got to wonder if there's any more steam left in this market today. There could be. This could come in at 78, and I've got to be ready. And nope, so far so no. No setup. This one could come in at 5.9, and I just want to be ready, because if it sets up, I got to click on that entry quickly. The lines are really tight. See that resistance zone with those two EMAs up there really holding their ground, and it's showing signs that it could roll over and move lower and maybe make new lows for the day. I mean, it hasn't really tested the lows yet of the day, and so we'll find out, but it seems like that's what it's trying to do at this point, is test those lows, and I just want to be ready. It may not give me a short on this bar. I might have to wait for another bar, and that's all part of the mitigation process when the market's consolidating. You'll notice I haven't really gotten any short setups yet, and there really haven't been any moves to the downside with conviction. It's still kind of chopping around, but it's showing signs that it wants to break lower. We'll see if that happens, but you can see that the 50 EMA here is already rolling over, and the 200 is curving down a little. There's a setup. Oh, it is. Look at that. Hope I don't miss it. There, filled. And the stop is at 82. Let me just make sure that that's correct. It is. The target is at 21. And I hope this is the move lower. It is the next trade. I got to take it. This is pretty common with heating oil. You're really in this for the big move, and sometimes you put your hook in the water and the fish gets away a few times, and then keep doing it and you catch the big one. You can expect triple-digit gains on heating oil, and quite often the trailing stop definitely makes up for a lot of pain, and so does the 2-to-1 risk reward. If we get down and hit the target with one position, you practically wipe out the loss of a two position trade, risking one to make two. But this has been a pretty choppy market since that move down that happened before our start time. But you see, we could be breaking through here. We could be breaking through. Just zebra stripes. Crude oil is rallying, so that's not a good sign. Nope, that's too bad. So that one stopped out, and I got to be ready for a short at 68 now. Could get a short at 68. I'm going to put it in just because I don't want to miss it. 67 actually is where it would be. Yep, see, I knew that was coming. Will we break lower? Okay, my stop should be at 91. I'm sure there was some slippage in there. Yeah, there was. So this has to go up to 91. My target's 29. There we go. All right. We're in it to win it here. And nothing but zebra stripes on these bars we've been trading through. Still, we're doing fairly good. I mean, it's not terrible. We're close to positive. We just need one push in our direction. We are skirting with the lows of the day, and you know, the risk of not making new lows and testing. Of course, our target is on top of the low of the day, so what I'm hoping for is it pushes down and breaks to new lows, and it's showing signs like it wants to. But, you know, all you can do is take the next trade in the plan and let it do its thing. Heating oil does nothing but win, win, win. We get through some losses to hit our winners. It's won 31 of the last 32 sessions. So it's due for a losing session. It really is. Just hope it isn't this one. We're in this trade right there. A lot of times after the market chops around, it ultimately resolves itself and goes on a run in one particular direction or another. Definitely has been pretty choppy the last day and a half. Crude oil still in rally mode. Trend jumper doing great on crude oil. That's usually what I demonstrate on Fridays. I thought I would switch it up and do heating oil today. And unfortunately, market's not cooperating. Going to get a long trade here. It's going to be at 11. So it hit 11 faster than I can grab it. Do have that thing at 13 actually. I'm going to go up to 15. I definitely want to get above that resistance there. Got all that resistance. I'm going to make a little adjustment above. Now that the market failed to get lower, maybe it'll start moving higher again. Just want to be careful I don't get ticked into a trade right below the ceiling. Remember how it just missed that target by 1 tick? And that's unfortunate, because if it would have hit the full target, I would have had power of quitting and I would have been done and I would have avoided these other trades. What a difference a tick makes. In this trade, technically, if it hits the stop, I will cancel the trade because it would have been a loser. My little adjustment here may keep me out of it. So, continues to be a choppy market here on heating oil. We'll see if the stop holds and it can push higher and trigger me in. Won't take much to get back to positive, but we definitely need to see something other than zebra stripes. See it hitting right up against that. Looks like it broke through. Nope. 13. Got as high as 14. I got mine at 15. See if that's enough to keep me. Make sure I got my targets at the right place. Alright, so I'm in. Alright, so the target is at 47. Let's make sure I'm at 47. And moving higher. And my stop needs to be at 84. See if we can get to money management. Money management is at 37. Then I'd have to push my stop to 12. Didn't get there yet. There we go. Let's get the risk off the trade. The stop's actually going to 18, 12, but I could see it's actually going to, yeah, it could be 18 or 19. We'll see where this bar closes. We need a rally. We need a rally. 23 now. Alright, so at least I'm in a risk-free position and hopefully going higher. If it can get up to this peak right here, I'm expecting it's going to stall and I may take profit if I can get that high. Since I'm coming from behind and it is Friday, I would like to get out of this session positive, so I may just push my stop up and try to guarantee a positive result if I can get that high. Alright, stop moving up to 29. Let's push that higher. You can see why I like to use a big long vertical monitor, because this could really start going and I don't like having to scroll up and down for the sake of this video. Alright, this is going to go to 38, so I'm going to do that now. 38. And it will go to 47. A little bit of a pullback here, maybe going to set up another leg higher. Would be nice. Let's see if that happens. See, it went to 47. It's good to know the strategy because you can anticipate where those stops are going to go. It's going to move up a little more too. The fact that it's got a little pullback here could be setting up a nice spring higher. Maybe it'll give it enough energy to make new swing highs over here. This stop will go to 49. I could do that now. Tick by tick, step by step. Let's see, it went to 49. Now can we just survive for a move higher? I mean, is it going to keep vacillating around these tight EMAs? Or because it failed to get lower, is that set up now some foundation for a rally? And that's kind of the question here. And it may or may not happen on this move. Let's see if that 50-cent level will hold it. So far, so good. And it did stop out. Still a nice winner. A little bit behind here on the session. Coming right back into the chop zone here. Definitely got a short at 13 now. And getting filled, so hopefully it pushes lower. And my target 75. And my stop is at 36. There we go. We're in position. I mean, I'm literally one good trade away from getting positive here, so hopefully it continues to tank lower. 84 is my money management level. If it gets to 84, I will take the risk off the trade. Need a strong push down to our target here. Missing money management by just a few ticks so far. And there's money management. I've got to take the risk off this trade. I'm going to work a little bit around the key level. Keep it a little bit above those EMAs. Did I almost hit full target? 76. Boy, I missed full target by one tick again. I want to trade for profit. I have to push it a little bit down. There's full target. That's great. So maybe now we push down to lower lows. I've got to definitely take the risk off the trade on this one. I mean, if I get out here, I'm actually positive for the day, but I'm in it for the full trade. We're pushing on the lows of the day. We could break through, and I want to be in it if that happens, especially since it failed to get higher. For the same reason it failed to get lower and started moving up, maybe now because it failed to get higher, it will continue moving down. So let's give this a chance. Although that's a lot. It'd be a shame if it came all the way back up. I'm actually going to go to my target on this. I don't want to give back all that hard work. So I'm going to definitely come down. I'm going to come right above my target. I'm definitely taking liberties here, but I don't want to give back all this profit on a Friday near the lows of the day. So I'm right here above the quarter century mark, using that as a key level, the 76 level. Hopefully it stays in. Looks like it may start bouncing around again, or it could push lower, but at least I know I've got a good trade here, and even if I hit that, I've cut my losses to almost nothing, and I still have a chance for a bigger move. So, I'm trying to be patient, but I'm also trying to be a winning trader today. I managed to avoid a losing trade. I've managed to get into all the other trades properly, and now I'm just managing this one for profit, which really pulled away with my stop still way up here. It may not be able to make new lows. This is usually a market that we could be done very quickly. Today required a lot more trades than usual. Pushed right up on that quarter century mark at 75, hit 74, came off. My stop was at 7.6, still giving me life in the trade. You can see the stop is starting to move lower to catch up. It would be at 87 when this bar closes. Right there. I'm a little bit tighter. I'm okay with that. Skirting the low of the day. Don't want to risk my hard-earned gains too much. Trying to compromise, stay in the trade, but still take a decent profit if the price moves against me. And it is a little bearish pattern, so if it breaks lower, it could lead to something large. That's a good sign. It's on the 50-cent level. Wow, really pushing down. And you can see the jump line is caught up to my stop. So the stop would actually be at 78, dealing with all this support down in here. Since my stop has come to 78, I'm going to put it at 78, 2 more ticks above. That's where that stop's going to be. So it's the natural stop. So going back to the strategy here as it's caught up to the price action. I mean, it's tempting to take the profit and be positive for the session, right? I'm a little positive here. And if this one comes up and hits my stop, I'll be a tiny bit negative still. But I'm pretty happy with the outcome so far because I have the chance to catch a bigger move. There it is, hitting 75 again. Look at that. It hit 75. My stop was at 76. Now it's at 78. Still have a chance for a bigger move down. Those key levels, it's amazing how they work. It may not hold. It could still come up and stop me out, but I'm still in it. I still have a chance in case it does go lower, and that's what it's all about. And it did stop out at 7.8. And so that's all she wrote on that trade there. But a nice trade. 2 nice trades in a row. And, I'm only a few ticks shy of positive now. So even though I'm a little bit negative, I've decided to call it quits today because when I put all these trades into my spreadsheet, the strategy was actually 25 ticks positive. And the reason why I'm negative is because of slippage. So the system was positive on, just dots on the chart. And also I just missed power of quitting by 1 tick on that second trade. So when I combine that information with the fact that the price continues to be range bound, trading around these two EMAs, it seems likely to me that while it could still produce more winners, the likelihood of more losing trades also exists. And I want to go into the weekend with a pretty good result. I'm happy that I had these last two trades, both of which gave me the chance to be in a larger move, neither one of which occurred. But these two trades totally alleviated the earlier losses that occurred inside of the chop zone here, and I was able to avoid a trade as well, based on what I was talking about earlier, my knowledge of the trend jumper. So the system itself, positive by 25 ticks. We know we're going to get 3 or 4 ticks of slippage per trade on these trades. It's a small price to pay, though, at $4.20 a tick, especially when it's easy to pick up triple-digit gains with frequency. So for those reasons, I'm calling it quits. Thanks for joining me today, everybody. This is TJ with the PTU Trend Jumper. I'll see you on the next video.